What is up, everybody? Nate Liss from DynastyRankings.com back with you guys once again. First off, I want to start the episode out by saying thank you to all the new subscribers that joined this channel last week. The video did incredibly well. And I'm excited for the content that we're going to continue to make into this offseason. With that being said, this week I wanted to look at 3 players from an explosive perspective that I'm really excited about going into next season based on the big play usage rates that we have the data on from 2022. Now, the data in this video was pulled from Pro Football Focus amongst other sources, so know that when you hear me say deep targets in this video, I'm referring to passes that traveled greater than 20 yards downfield. So with that said, let's jump right in. Now, number 1 is not so surprisingly George Pickens. And I know that the targets are earned crowd is not going to want to hear this one. But despite Diontae Johnson's best efforts, Pickens was clearly the more effective and explosive option in this offense in 2022. In fact, last season, when looking at deep target rates, Pickens was targeted deep at a rate 18% higher than that of Johnson. And if that wasn't overwhelming enough with those deep targets, Pickens converted at a rate 37% higher than he did, which is the reason that he ended up churning out 338 more receiving yards with those deep targets. And look, I want to blame it on quarterback accuracy too, but per player profiler, Johnson had a top 13 catchable target rate last season. But still, some of you are probably like, yeah, but Diontae Johnson saw a target share 11.4% higher. That's got to count for something, right? And admittedly, that is great. Except with those 63 more season-long targets than Pickens had, he still only outscored him by 14 fantasy points on the year. And here is why. Because even when you rank 6th in total targets, when you score 0 touchdowns and finish 38th in yards after the catch, you're only going to score so many fantasy points. So while I do believe that Diontae Johnson will remain the most targeted receiver in the Pittsburgh offense in 2023, and that a lot of what we saw in 2022 was probably fluky based on his body of work prior to this, there's just no way the coaching staff can look at these results and think anything other than Pickens needs more targets, and with that, more targets downfield. Now, number 2 on this list is Jerry Jeudy. Much like Tyler Lockett, I'm not sure it will ever matter what Jeudy does in the NFL because buyers have made their mind up. So despite Jeudy finishing his final 5 games of the NFL season with a 27.8% target share, which would have been good for a top 8 number last season, he is still currently just the wide receiver 22 on Keep Trade Cut. But it gets way better. Because if there's one thing people don't think Jerry Jeudy is, it's a deep threat. And that couldn't have been further from the truth last season. Because with Russell Wilson at quarterback in Denver, Jerry Jeudy finished 11th overall in deep targets at a rate of 26%, which ranked inside the top 15. And the reason why I can't stop smiling when I think about this is because Jeudy detractors not only don't know about his deep ball opportunities, but they also have no idea how good he was after the catch last season. Well, I'll tell you, when looking at just deep balls last season, Jerry Jeudy ranked top 5 after the catch per reception at 11.3. And even when we zoom out to look at his yards after the catch based on his 100 targets from last year, he's still ranked inside the top 6 at 6.1 yards after the catch per reception, which was nearly identical to A.J. Brown. In fact, while we're bragging, even for as bad as Russell Wilson appeared to be last season, Jerry Jeudy still finished with a better receiving percentage and higher deep target rate than even Chris Olave. So maybe, just maybe, when the Russell Wilson of old returns to form in 2023, you guys will consider moving Jerry Jeudy above his Keep Trade Cut evaluation of the wide receiver 22, but I won't hold my breath. Number 3 is Christian Watson. Now, by the end of 2022, Dynasty gamers were hyper aware of Watson and his big play potential, but just how much? Because while Watson ranked just the wide receiver 65 in total targets, his downfield usage looked a lot different. In fact, in 2022, during his rookie season, Watson was seeing a deep target rate of 27.7%, a number which ranked number 10 overall amongst all wide receivers with at least 10 deep targets. But the allure of Watson goes much, much deeper than this, because we witnessed a major transformation take place during week 10 of this season. In fact, week 10 was the first time Christian Watson saw a snap share greater than 70%, and over the course of the next following 8 weeks, that average climbed all the way to 80%. But what should really make you hot under the collar is what I'm about to say next, because over those same final 8 games of 2022, despite averaging just 6.5 targets per game, Christian Watson was averaging over 100 100 air yards, and greater than 17.2 fantasy points per game. And those are absolutely elite production metrics. Because last season, only 6 players in the entire league averaged above those same 2 thresholds. And as you can see from the list on the screen, this is phenomenal company to be in if you're a Christian Watson fan. And though the fear of Aaron Rodgers exiting Green Bay is a nerve-wracking one, we shouldn't be overly concerned. Because last season, Rodgers, despite ranking number 2 overall in deep ball pass attempts with 81, Rodgers was actually near the bottom of the league as the QB 29 in catchable deep target rate, while still having a top 10 protection rate. So even if Watson is catching passes from a totally different option in 2023, ignoring how impressive his performance was in 2022 may end up being a huge mistake. Again, thank you guys so much for checking out the video. Of course, make sure to hit the like button. Of course, hit the subscribe button while you're here so you guys don't miss any future drops as we dive into this offseason and I talk about more of these rookie prospects, dynasty trades, all the things that are going on at dynastyrankings.com as well. And of course, guys, comment below with what your thoughts are. Who are a deep threat or players that you think I should have listed on the list above? And how do you feel about the 3 that I actually named? Comment below. I will respond to everybody appropriately. Thanks for tuning in.